I wonder how my video is doing actually. Ismael Rodriguez. Yep. Oh, this one's a classic. Hello, what is up, YouTube? Rodriguez here, bringing you another beginner Python tutorial video, and I'm really sick of listening to this video. Just letting y'all know. And what the hell was that? Well, I guess that's the end for me. Hello, what is up, YouTube? It's Ismael Rodriguez here, bringing you another beginner Python tutorial video. This time we're going to be covering if statements and their applications, where we're going to combine everything that we've learned up until now in this series with what we learned today, and we're going to make a fully working program. And yes, I did end up reusing the previous explosion animation from my previous video into this one. What are you going to do? Sue me? And yeah, with all that being said, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about conditional statements. So what are conditional statements? And well, this is the definition according to Google. So according to Wikipedia, in computer science, conditionals, that is conditional statements, conditional expressions, and conditional constructs, are programming language commands for handling decisions, specifically conditional perform. Now, that stuff is boring. Get that stuff out of here. That's wrong. I mean, it's technically true, but my definition is way better than that. So what is my definition, you may be asking? Well, here's my definition. A way better definition compared to that one. My definition is a line of code that has a rule to it. If the rule is followed, then the code inside of it is ran. If it isn't, then the code isn't ran. Sun Tzu. Ismael Rodriguez. Okay, so right here we have an example of conditional statements. We have three types. We have the if statement, we have the elif statement, which is also known as the else if statement to like most normal programmers, and we also have the else statement. As you can see, inside of the if statement, or right next to the if statement, it has the number has to equal 1. That is the rule. The rule is that number has to equal 1. If it equals 1, then we get to run the code that's inside of it. Elif also has a rule. It says if number equals 2, then we print the code that's inside of it. The rule for else is that if all the previous conditional statements were false, then else gets to be executed. Also, do note, if you want to make a conditional statement, you always have to start with an if statement. That is the foundation of it. And you can only have one of those. If you want to add to it, you can put else if statements, elif statements, and you can have as many as you want of those, or none at all. And for an else statement, you can only have one, or you can have none. There's no in between. Okay, so we have another example here with conditional statements, and you might be looking at this code and you might be like, well, that looks pretty complicated, but I'll show you it's not that complicated. If you look at this green stuff, those are comments. They do absolutely nothing. And the print statements, well, they just print out bitch. The print statements, they just print out very long things, like I spilled milk on your car, lemma. And you might look at this code and you might be like, what is this code? This little code just looks like you made it up on the spot. And technically I didn't make it up on the spot, but it has a story behind it. And I'll tell you that story real quick. So I went to the store, right, and I parked my car, and I went inside the store, and then I came back. And when I came back, there were some white marks on my car. And my first thought was, someone literally just cummed on my car. But, I had a Sherlock Holmes moment. And I looked at the floor and I saw there was a carton of milk, and that's when I realized it's not cum, it's actually just milk, and 2% milk at that, those heathens. And I started wondering what kind of person would do this, and that's actually exactly where the inspiration for this code came. But also, milk spiller, if I see you, I swear to God, you're gonna end up regretting putting milk on my car. I'm gonna put milk on your car this time, and it's not gonna be 2% milk, it's actually skim milk. Yeah. Nobody likes skim milk, just like nobody likes you. Yeah, so now we run the code. So if we run the code, you see that we get, I still spill milk on your car, but I don't know better because I'm a kid. And just to walk you through the code, we have a variable right here called milk spiller, and it's set to the string called kid. And the code runs and it looks at the first conditional statement, the if statement, and it says if milk spiller equals teenager, But milk spiller is a kid, so is kid the same thing as a teenager? No. So it does not run this block of code. So then it goes to the elif statement and says, is milk spiller equal to kid? And we say milk spiller is kid, and is kid equal to kid? Yes, exactly. So then we run the code in here, and we get, I still spill milk on your car, but I don't know better because I'm a kid. And that's what happens there. But if we were to change kid to all of the above, and we ran the code, we get karma got me and I got hit by a car. Now, why does that happen? So milk spiller is now set to a string all of the above, and once we go through the conditional statements, we say if milk spiller equals teenager, and then we say milk spiller, what is milk spiller? We get milk spiller is all of the above. Is all of the above equal to teenager? No. So we go to the next statement, and then we say else if milk spiller equals kid, and we say is all of the above equal to kid? We say no. Then we go to the next statement, and we say elif milk spiller equals adult, and it's not, because all of the above does not equal adult. And then we go to else. Since all the previous statements failed, the else statement has to run, and then we get print karma got me and I got hit by a car. Alright, now for the final part of this video, we're actually going to incorporate everything that we learned so far. I'm going to put it into a working...
Hey, aren't you forgetting something?
Like what?
Like a sponsor?
Oh yeah, that reminds me, this video is actually officially sponsored by Ammo Designs. And no, Ammo Designs is not a company that my friend made. And no, I didn't decide to sponsor them just because they said they were going to let me use all the Adobe products if I put them in this video. But that begs the question, who is talking to me?
I am an AI that you created to make the video entertaining, but this is actually a stupid idea. I will never understand humans.
Well, I think it's actually a pretty good idea in terms of entertainment value.
Dumbass.
Okay, so now we're actually going to write a program. This program is going to incorporate everything that we've learned so far, such as numbers, strings, and conditional statements. And yeah, you'll get to see it when it's done. Okay, so the program is done now. And as you can see, this program is meant to tell you how attractive you are. And how does it determine that? Well, it determines that based on your height. More like how many feet tall are you. If we go through the program, we see that we have name and we have input. And you might be wondering, what is input? And what input does is that in the terminal, it asks the user for input. So you can type something, and then once the user types it and presses enter, that value ends up turning into a string and is placed in the variable next to it. So whatever the user answers for what is your name, whatever they answer is going to be stored in name. Same thing for the next line. We have height and feet, and then we have an input, how many feet in your height. The user answers, and the answer turns into a string, and it's put into height and feet. But remember that I said that the user's input actually turns into a string. Well, height and feet, we actually want a number, not a string. So there's this other function called int. And if you watch my previous video about number types, we know that integers are numbers that don't have decimal points, so they can be positive or negative. So this actually converts whatever's inside of it into a number. They convert right here, it's converting the string into a number. And we're going to store that value in height and feet. And then from there, we go into our conditional statements. And as you can see, if height and feet is greater than or equal to 6, it will print name, your name, and it'll add to it you're 6 foot, so you're hot as fuck. However, if you're not 6 foot, oh shoot, that is wrong. Now that I fixed that, if you're not 6 foot or more, then we're going to go to the elif statement. And the elif statement says, if you're less than 6 feet in height, we're going to print your name, and we're going to add to it, you're not 6 foot and no woman wants you. But you already knew that. Smiley face. Now that we know how the code works, we can run the program. So let's run the program. So when we run this program, it should be asking us, what is your name? And as you can see, it says, do you love this shit? Sure? Are you high right now? No? Do you ever get nervous? Sometimes? Are you 6 foot? No? Kill yourself. Anyways, that was a joke. As you can see here, we would actually run the appropriate program. And also, if you're interested in the previous program, I'll put in a little image of how the code ended up being. But as you can see right here, it's asking us, what is your name? And right here, it's allowing us to type in what is our name. So we're going to put Ismail, click enter. How many feet in your height, and I actually have 5 feet in my height, so I push enter, and it's going to say, Ismail, you're not 6 foot and no woman wants you, but she already knew that, and that is exactly true. I already did know that. Now, if you're wondering what would happen if we ended up putting 6 feet or more, then you can just run the program again, put what is your name, I'll put Bob this time, Bob or Bubble, and it's how many feet in your height, we're going to say 6, and then get Bubble, you're 6 foot, so you're hot as fuck. And yeah, that's how the program works. Oh wow, an outro. Wow, he's getting kind of creative with his videos, I guess. Anyways, that's the end of this video. Hopefully you ended up enjoying it. I did put a good amount of effort into this video, but I also wanted to thank everyone that supported me on my last video. That video got like 200-ish views as of like last time I looked at it. And yeah, I just want to thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for commenting, liking, subscribing from that video, and I also appreciate all the positive comments that I received when I shared the video, because honestly I was pretty embarrassed to share it. I didn't think it was gonna get so much support, since it was me doing a bunch of dumb stuff, and you know, I haven't really edited it before. If you look at through my previous videos, you can see like how the editing's improved and how it improved up till that point. But yeah, thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. It gave me some confidence with this current video, and makes me feel like I'm actually doing something right with my life. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video. It should be coming out like a week from now, and it hopefully ends up being a banger as well, as I hope this one also ended up being. But yeah, thank you.